Let's have a look at the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles for season 2023. 2022, of course, finished horribly. They won 9, they lost 15. They finished 11th on the ladder. They were in the 8 for a considerable amount of the season, and then it all went pear-shaped on the Pride jersey fiasco. Maybe cracks appearing before that as well. A new coach, Anthony Seibold, steps in, and then, of course, there is one new player there, Kelma Tuolangi. But beyond that, there is a very settled side over there at Manly. What will be of greatest interest is the health of their fullback.
It's the quickest preview we can do. Does Tom Trbojveic play 20 games this year? Then Manly is a potential top 5, top 6 side.
You are so correct in that.
If Tom Trbojveic plays 10 games, they're not in the 8.
Yep.
That's as clear as it is.
So based on that, is there a more impactful player on the outcome for their team than Tom Trbojveic in the league? And that's not saying that he's the best player in the league, because Nathan Cleary can be covered and James Tedesco can be covered, but Cameron Munster can be covered, but Tom cannot be covered.
Out of those top 4 sides that you mentioned, the ones that we if Nathan Cleary does not play for Penrith, I still think they could make the top 8.
Oh, clearly.
And
Absolutely.
you talk about Tedesco, of course, the Roosters could make the top 8.
Yep.
Melbourne, they could still make the top 8.
Yes.
So that's where we're at. Manly, if Tom Trbojveic is out, they do not make the top 8.
Okay.
The other question mark for me is around Josh Schuster. Heading into 2021, he was my favourite player in the NRL to watch. I just loved watching him play. Silky skills, his no-look pass, his freedom that he played with, and just his ability to throw a no-look flick, no-look cutout part, all that sort of stuff. I just loved the way he went about it. This year was horrible for him. 2022 was horrible. He had a horrible season, wasn't fit, wasn't injury-prone, just didn't get out of first gear. So he heads into this season as their 5'8".
Yep.
All the skills in the world to be a really, really good player. Whether he's cut out to play 5'8", or is up for that week-to-week challenge of being an NRL player is what we'll find out this year.
Did the club do the right thing? Because what messaging are you sending to a player? And let's say that management is involved and said, we're only going to sign this if you're going to guarantee that he plays 5'8". If I'm doing that, I'm a club saying, well, we'll do that, but hey, here's some of the things we want from you to uphold your end of the bargain. Now, from all reports, he has trained really well and all that sort of thing, but let's see it and then we'll believe it as well. But the point of it is, what message are you sending to everyone else in the squad to say you can get your own way if your manager agitates enough for it? That's my concern around it. Because Kieran Foran played well last year at different stages.
I said Kieran Foran was one of the worst signings in the NRL at Canterbury. He was one of the best signings at Manly.
Yeah.
For what they got.
Because what they paid for.
What they paid for.
Yep.
That's and the amount of games that he played and the impact he had on side. And Kieran Foran, when you speak to people at Manly, he was the glue between the two fractions at the club.
Right.
You know, there was groups that were off over the whole Pride. That you can't,
of course they
can dispel it. They can come out and say that it wasn't. That the playing group was off with each other. Kieran Foran had the ability to interact with both groups and really bring them together. Aside from what he was bringing on the field, which was outstanding for Manly.
Yes.
He was that glue. So they will miss him. The fact that Manly signed Schuster to play 5'8" and said that you're their 5, I don't actually have an issue with it, because players and clubs need a path and an understanding of where they're going to be. That does not guarantee you the number 6 jersey, but the plan is for you to be the number 6.
Is it complicated by the fact that Schuster was one of the 7 that didn't play in the Pride? Like, is that factional divide within Man? And because if you look at the other big issue for the Seagulls is Anthony Seibold comes in as coach. He's not a Manly person. Yes, he's lived in the area, but he's not a Manly person. Yeah. He comes in. He's got a track record of being under pressure and not handling that pressure, and then he comes into a high-pressure environment where he's got a fractured playing group. That's not straightforward, Mick.
It's not, and I haven't been in and around the camp this season to work out exactly how they're going, but reports are, I'm speaking to people in and around there, that the best thing they did was get a new coach in, because it was allowed everyone a fresh start.
Right.
And broke down all those barriers. And this is not a slight at Des. This is just where the group was at that stage. And, Seibold's first appointment was Shane Flanagan. So that's, to me, that shows how comfortable he is now, how much he's grown as a coach.
That was a fascinating appointment.
It was, but there's no way he would have done that 3 years ago.
So what does Shane Flanagan bring that Anthony Seibold thought he needed?
Experience, calm head, and the ability to deal with everything else that comes with not coaching the football team.
And bringing a team together,
Yeah.
which
Shane
is
was
the
great at
strength
that.
of Shane Flanagan. Absolutely. Where do your Seagulls finish?
They are the
Hang on. Tom plays 22 games. Where do your Seagulls finish?
top 8.
Okay.
But I don't have them in my 8.
I've got him in my 8. I've got faith in Bill Knowles and his hamstring healing.